The judge just granted a motion that helps out Young Thug in a massive way. The beginning of trial today started with the state confirming that they will be calling Walter Murphy, aka DK, an alleged co-founder of YSL, to testify about an armed robbery. DK was the first co-defendant to take a plea deal in December 2022. It's very important to note that Thug's lawyer says he interviewed DK and he claimed to know nothing about what the state says that he will testify about.
Mr. Murphy never says that Mr. Williams is involved in this armed robbery. He never said. What he says was, "I've done all this work for Thug." He carried bags for Jeffrey Williams while on tour. These two people grew up together. He said nothing about a crime.
Is Mr. Murphy testifying at trial? Yes.
Well, I've interviewed him.
As the state is accusing Murphy was told to commit an armed robbery by Young Thug. However, in all truth, all DK Murphy was to Young Thug was somebody to help with the traveling of doing a concert tour. As once again, the state is providing zero evidence that Thug was there or even told DK to do the robbery. This seems to be a trend, as even Meek Mill would say, Jeff is gonna beat this case. It is too messy, as it truly seems the prosecutors are just making up things to make Young Thug look bad in front of the jury. It was also reported, and I quote, Young Thug's lawyer is fed up with the state interrupting him every 5 seconds. He told the judge that he's ready to start being petty during trial and start doing the same thing back to them.
So, I sit here, I don't interrupt Miss Love at all. And if this is the way, Your Honor, and I need to bring this up to the court, if we are going to be doing opening statements with interruptions, cross-examination with interruptions, I am going to ask the court to admonish and take action against Ms. Love, because I sat here for a year, it feels like, being interrupted on every quality, proper statement, and all the objections are the same. Asked and answered, vague,
Your Honor, I'm
not,
going
excuse
to object.
me, Ms. Love.
Let me finish, man.
You have to.
And I'm going to object to being spoken to by Mr. Steele in a
speaking
condescending manner on the record.
Let him finish, and then I'll let you respond, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let him finish. All right.
And if we're going to sit here during opening statements, then I'm telling the court, and I don't want to do this, I am going to object to everything that I believe there is a good faith basis.
As the prosecutors and state are just acting childish inside of the courtroom, to even further prove how bad these prosecutors truly are, the judge even screamed at them, basically because they're not doing their own job correctly.
Your Honor, we would ask, because we would ask that all of this be reserved for the 16th, because this all came up in September. You said you allowed us to.
I am really annoyed about this, Ms. Fulton. I just am. This is ridiculous. Your witness list has grown by 2/3 since then. And I don't know why. You better have a dang good explanation on the 16th, because if you don't, I'm going to exclude it. Okay. But right now, I'm telling you, without anything further, it's gone.
Well, we would like to
exclude a lot more on that date, because this is ridiculous. There is no plausible explanation I've gotten and that would suffice, that we just kind of keep, you keep dripping and driving out evidence.
The prosecutors are trying to sneak in 200 plus witnesses to come to trial and share crimes that Young Thug committed, all while not sharing the names of these witnesses, what crimes they even witnessed, and if they actually saw a crime with proof. This is why even Young Thug's girlfriend, Mariah the Scientist, hinted towards Young Thug's soon release, as she even spoke about marrying Young Thug once he gets out of jail soon.
Do you think that marriage is the next step for you, Young Thug?
I mean, when he gets out of jail?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think either of us want a jail wedding. Yeah, but I feel like he definitely wants to be married, and I feel like I do too.
Do you ever imagine life outside once he's out?
For sure. We talk about it all day. Okay. All day long. I mean, I feel like being imaginative can help every human being on earth not lose your mind.
Yeah.
You know, it is like a little slight state of delusion.
Young Thug's girlfriend and family are very confident about his release due to the prosecution in this trial. The only thing the prosecutors truly have right now against Young Thug is the rap lyrics found in Young Thug's songs. As DJ Akademiks would report, judge in Young Thug case allows the use of 17 different lyrics against him and his co-defendants.
Is going to admit for the limited purpose thus far, the state's request to apply the evidence statute is written. I'm going to conditionally admit particularized lyrics, and those lyrics are found within states 18. There's 17 sets of lyrics. I'll conditionally admit those pending lyrics, depending upon or subject to a foundation that is properly laid.
As in multiple Young Thug songs, he would actually break down on how certain crimes were committed and even who they targeted. As in the first set of lyrics is in the track titled Bad Boy featuring Juice WRLD, where Young Thug would rap the lyrics, "I went at his mommy, now he no longer mentions me," as the mother referenced in this song is actually YFN Lucci's mother, as during the Thug vs YFN Lucci beef a couple years ago, Lucci went absolute ghost. Young Thug wanted to end it while he was MIA, so he ended up targeting Lucci's mother's house with firearms.
Well, he's featured on the song, so the song is actually by an artist that goes by the name of Juice WRLD, and it's featuring Mr. Williams. The song is called Bad Boy, and Mr. Williams says, "I shot at his mommy, now he no longer mention me." Now, this would seem, again, insignificant if you're just looking at these words. However, in this case, in the height of the 2050 between the YSL gang and the IF, we have cases in which individuals of YSL the opposition's mother's house. Mr. Rayshawn Bennett, also known as YFN Lucci. We have two incidents in January 22 of 2015 and January 26 of 2015, where his mother's home, Mr. Bennett's mother's home,
as the next set of lyrics is in a song titled You, where Young Thug raps the lyrics, "Honestly, truth be told, YSL won't fold. Pick him off from the balcony, YSL wipe a nose." Relating to a crime where YSL members allegedly targeted an op while he was outside on his balcony. Court file suggests that multiple YSL members sitting parked in a vehicle outside of an apartment building waited several hours for an op to come out onto his balcony. Once he did, you could probably assume what happened then. As the next set of lyrics is, and I quote, "My boys really be slime, and we committing them crimes. Hop out and hit, you wanna be slime? Go catch you a body." As these lyrics are from Young Thug's hit song titled Really Be Slime, which funny enough has YNW Melly featured on the song, who's also battling his own court case where the state is looking at him to be responsible for the passing of his two best friends. Now, prosecutors allege these lyrics relate to the recruitment process of joining Young Thug's street team YSL, where you have to go commit a very serious crime towards someone in order to join the team. Currently, these rap lyrics is a majority of the evidence these prosecutors have, which in the end gives us a good timetable to figure out Young Thug's release date. To understand when the release date is, we need to dive deep into what Young Thug's lawyer just did this week. As it would be officially announced, Young Thug's lawyer files a motion to redact/remove any mention in the indictment of the 9 co-defendants who took guilty pleas. He argues that the fact that co-defendants pleading guilty cannot be used as evidence against Thug or others in the trial. As a part of some people's plea deals that they made, they have to take the stand against Young Thug during trial, where they would also have to reveal to the jury all of the crimes that Young Thug was involved in, and basically every crime YSL ever committed. As the motion to have this not be possible during trial was granted today, as it would be reported, they will also redact overt acts in the indictment committed by people who are no longer part of the trial, a total of 22 people. As this is very good news, as Young Thug would even be seen showing a thumbs up during the motion grant. Why this is so important is because a Young Thug's co-defendant and right-hand man Durante Bibi, aka B, pleading guilty to his RICO charges against him this week, along with participation in criminal street activity, theft by receiving stolen property, violation of Georgia's Controlled Substance Act, armed robbery, hijacking of a motor vehicle, and firearm charges.
And you give this guilty plea freely and voluntarily, means your own decision to enter a plea this afternoon? Yes. Okay, all right. And sir, then I find that based upon the responses that you've given and the colloquy in this case and the court's questioning of you, that your pleas are freely and voluntarily entered. I find a factual basis. I'm going to go ahead and accept your pleas as tendered and negotiate, sentence you to the as indicated. You're 23 years old. You've had enough trial in your life at this point in time. Would you agree?
Yes.
Time to have a little testimony. Time to reclaim your own life, and that you can do in this case, or if you just separate yourself from the people that you've been hanging out with. Find some new friends, find some new people that are going to be positive in your life, and if they don't add to your life, then you need to cut them loose.
As BB was sentenced to 5 years in prison along with 10 years of probation following his release, as B is the 9th co-defendant to strike a plea deal to avoid this trial. And with B taking his plea deal, admitting guilt of doing all of these crimes, it makes it seem as if Young Thug was obviously involved. As if you may remember, Young Thug's other right-hand man, being Gunna, also made a plea deal where he would plead guilty to several crimes that YSL allegedly committed, and he would even snitch, saying yes ma'am to a lot of crimes that the judge asked him about.
Not you agree or acknowledge that statements are true, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
I became affiliated with YSL around 2016. Is that true as it pertains to you, Mr. Kitchens?
Yes, ma'am.
YSL is a music label and you have personal knowledge that members or associates of YSL have committed crimes in furtherance.
Yes, ma'am.
You were present when law enforcement officers stopped the vehicle in which you were present along with Jeffrey Williams, wherein hydrocarbons and a firearm were recovered. These items did not belong to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And do you acknowledge the following statement? I recognize, accept, and deeply regret that my talent and music indirectly furthered YSL to the detriment of my community. YSL again. Is that your statement or acknowledgement?
Yes.